Hello and welcome to Canguro English. I'm Christian.
I'm Alba.
And today we are doing a very special class. This is the Introduction to English Pronunciation. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about all of the basic sounds in English and how no matter what country you're from, you can improve your pronunciation. The first thing that I think people need to understand is that every language in the world has its own distinct sound. So some languages, like Arabic for example, are very like in the throat, and some languages like Chinese, they're very important, the different tones. Okay, but English, for example, is exactly like a set of drums and bass, and that is why we're here today in this music studio recording this class, because I think that this is the sound of English.
Okay.
So maybe this is your first pronunciation course.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So there are two really important things that I want you to remember. Okay. When we're doing the course. Okay. One is that pronunciation is a physical activity. Okay. It's not a mental activity. We cannot produce sounds by thinking about them. We have to have the correct mouth position, tongue position, the correct instruments. We need to learn how to use our body like instruments, like these guys with their real instruments. Okay, and the second thing, which is really important, is that you will never lose your accent. Okay, you will always, because you're Spanish, you will always have a Spanish accent when you speak English.
Or even a Galician.
Or even a Galician accent, exactly. and this is not bad. Okay. You know, there are not only two varieties of English in the world, you know, American and British. There are thousands, infinite number of varieties of English. Malaysian English, Nigerian English, Hong Kong English. And within England we have lots of different dialects, okay? So be proud of your Spanish accent, okay? And so the objective is not to have a native accent. The objective is that whatever country you go to in the world, people can understand you.
Okay.
So we don't want you to lose your accent, we want you to have very easy to understand English. Okay? So they're the two important things that I want you to remember. Okay?
Okay.
So what are we going to study in this course? We're going to study consonants, vowels, we're going to study word stress, where we put the emphasis. We are going to study tonic words, because some languages are tonal, so they have lots of problems where to put the emphasis. So we're going to study this, and we're also going to study connected speech, how words are pronounced differently when they're together. Unfortunately, English is a little bit more difficult than some languages regarding pronunciation. Okay, one reason is that English spelling and English pronunciation are not related, as maybe you know.
Yes.
Yes, like you're very lucky with Spanish. Spanish is a phonetic language. You see the word, you can pronounce it, no problems. But English is not like this, okay? And in English we have 26 letters of the Latin alphabet, but we have 44 different sounds, okay? Now, 70% of the languages in the world only have between 23 and 36 sounds. So English has more sounds than a majority of world languages. So it's more difficult.
Yes,
but
it is.
But don't worry. You're going to have all of the sounds perfect by the end of the course. Okay. Finally, before we start with some practical activities, one final thing I want to say is that yes, there are lots of varieties of English in the world. So what variety of English will I teach you? What pronunciation will I teach you? Well, I was born in Australia, but I haven't lived in Australia for about 15 years now. I lived in England, so my pronunciation is a bit of a mix between, English and Australian. But there's a difference in the classroom or at home when you're practicing between your model pronunciation and your target pronunciation.
Okay.
So I can give you a model for you to follow, but you know, if you plan to maybe spend a lot of time in America, then that should be your target. Or if you plan to spend time in the north of England, then you should concentrate on that being your target. Okay.
Okay.
So that's something to remember. Okay, the difference between the model and the target at home. So I'm going to give you the British Australian model, and you have to decide what you want to do at home. Okay, so let's start with some practical activities. So for you, what is the difference between a consonant and a vowel in your mind when you think about a consonant and a vowel?
I don't know. I think that vowels are easy to pronounce
Okay.
because you only have to open or close your mouth.
Exactly. So that is the fundamental difference between a vowel and a consonant, is that with a vowel, there's no friction. You know, there's no tongue or lips or the air just passes. So it's easier. But yes, with a consonant, we have an obstruction, maybe the teeth or lips or the tongue. Before I talk specifically about the sound of English, which these boys here are going to demonstrate, I think the general rule that everybody should understand about English is that we are obsessed with consonants.
Yes.
Other languages are obsessed with vowels, maybe, or tones. We're obsessed with consonants. And a perfect example is the word vegetables. Right? And in a language like Spanish, which really concentrates on the vowels, you would say like vegetables. You really pronounce all the vowels, and you put your stress on the vowels. But in English, we're obsessed with consonants. So we eliminate the vowels, and we really focus on pronouncing every consonant, like vegetables.
Okay.
You try it.
Vegetables.
Very nice. That's perfect. So that's something you should always keep in your mind. Okay, is that consonants are really the most important thing in English. Why do we have the drummer and the bass player here? Well, I think that some of the really important sounds in English are represented here by the drum kit and the bass. So the first sound we're going to look at, which is really common in English, really important, are the strong consonants. Okay, and the strong consonants are represented by the big bass drum, which sounds like this. Yeah. Okay. So you can hear that sound is really strong. Okay, and this is the difference between languages which have soft consonants and strong consonants. Okay. The second sound, which is really important in English, is the high sound, represented by the symbol here, which is And if you listen to native English speakers, they always go very high. You hear lots of tss and lots of do.
Okay.
Okay, and the third sound, which is represented here, is this vibration. Okay, which is really important in English, which is like this. Yeah, you hear it's a low and it vibrates. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit abstract. So let's look at an actual example. So first we're going to look at the difference between the B and the B. And if you're Arabic or Turkish or Spanish, then this problem is it's a problem for you. This probably okay. So when we have the P, okay, we have this explosion of air, p, and the lips are closed. P. Good, excellent. But when we have the B sound, okay, we have exactly the same mouth position, but we combine it with the explosive sound of this, b, like this. Yeah, okay.
B.
Excellent. Okay. So now let's look at a pair of words. So for example, pool, and bull.
Okay. Pool.
Good.
Pool. Bull.
Excellent. Okay. So really try to. I want you to visualize in your mind that explosion, bull.
Bull.
This is one of the physical aspects of pronunciation I was talking about. Because to produce this sound, okay, you have to learn to control this.
Yes.
This is called your voice. Okay? So we have a lot of English is voiced and unvoiced sounds, okay? So like, you can see here we have nothing. If you touch your throat, no vibration. And then with this, with the big exactly, we have buh. Okay, and here we go in the throat. We turn on the voice. Excellent. And when you combine it with the p and the b, buh.
B.
Excellent.
P.
Excellent. Following the same idea, okay, we have the difference between the English T, like a hat,
Hat.
and the past of the verb have had.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have t, no voice, okay, an explosion of air, t, and then we have this sound here, d.
D.
We can see that the two sounds are different. They're represented by this. Hat. Hat. Good. And had. Had. Hat. Had. Hat. Had. Okay?
Okay.
So that's something that you can visualize when you're practicing your pronunciation. Okay, so
Hat.
and then
Hat.
perfect. Had.
Hat.
Very good, excellent. The next thing will be the difference in English between the S and the Z. Okay, so the first one we have S, so it's just air coming out. S, like a snake. S. And then the second one, here we have this, what we're doing is we're adding the voice, and it sounds a lot like this. We have that vibration. Zzz, we're activating the voice. Zzz. Excellent. Okay, so if you want to make your drink cold, you put ice. Okay, and these are your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is ice, and the second one is eyes. Okay, so now you try.
Eyes and eyes.
Good. So don't be afraid when you're at home practicing your pronunciation. Exaggerate.
Okay.
Okay.
Eyes.
Longer. Eyes. Imagine you're playing this bass. Eyes.
Eyes.
Excellent. That sounds beautiful. So in your drink.
Ice.
And these.
Eyes.
Excellent. Very good. Perfect. Now, maybe if you're Italian, which you're not, but if you're Italian at home, then another thing which really shows the physical aspect of pronunciation is the difference between the T and the TH in English. Like tin.
Tin.
And thin.
Thing.
Good, but I want to see more tongue. Thin.
Thing.
Excellent, very good. If I don't see your tongue, you're not pronouncing it correctly. Okay? Tin.
Tin.
Thin.
Thing.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. So I can actually see if your pronunciation is correct or not. Another one similar to this, and maybe, for example, if you're German, you have a problem with this. The difference between w, the W, and v, the V. Okay. So the W in English is like a kiss. Okay. The lips are really like w.
Ooh. Ooh.
W.
Ooh.
Excellent. So don't be afraid. When you're practicing your pronunciation, exaggerate. So, w.
Ooh.
Excellent. Okay. All the sound is here, really at the front of your lips. Okay.
Okay.
And then the V, okay, is lips and teeth together. So I can see if you're doing it correctly. It's like this. Okay. Top teeth on your lips. Excellent. Excellent. So, for example, wine to drink.
Wine.
Wine, more lips, more kiss.
Wine.
Good.
Wine.
Good. And then what the grapes grow on is the vine.
Vine.
Okay, more bite. Vine.
Vine.
Excellent. Vine.
Vine.
Wine.
Wine.
Excellent. Very good. Perfect. And the final thing, okay, the final thing is we are going to learn about the sound called the idiot sound. Okay. Because this sound is really common in English.
Okay.
And it's called the idiot sound because it's like I take out your brain like you're an idiot. Your face is completely relaxed. Your tongue is relaxed. Okay, your jaw is relaxed. It's like you're a zombie, okay? Exactly. Now this sound is in so many words. For example, girl.
Girl. Girl.
Girl.
Girl.
Yeah. So when you pronounce the word, I don't want to see okay, just like zombie. Girl.
Girl.
Perfect. And that sounds beautiful. It's just air passing your vocal cords. That's all it is. That sounded really good.
Yeah.
Also, for example, this is
No sé.
turn.
Ah, turn.
Yeah, so remember,
Turn.
relax, exactly. Turn.
Turn.
Perfect, perfect. One final time, okay,
Okay.
with the band, okay? So, strong consonants, D and B and G, okay? And then the high consonant sounds, T and S. Yeah, excellent, excellent. And then the voiced consonants like Z, with the plural, like the Z and the plurals like eyes. Well, now I think that you have an overview of English
Okay.
pronunciation, okay? And now I think we should let the boys play something nice for us to say goodbye.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see any more of the pronunciation course, or if you would like to see any more of Alba. Thank you very much, Alba.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.